Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're my patron subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we are going to be covering what is going on in the world when it comes to leadership in many countries. The likes of which are United Kingdom, Germany, France, Korea, Japan, um, places like that, even in the United States, where we talk about everything, including Canada, and why all these countries are starting to face turmoil in some sense or some way. But why are countries like Russia, China, North Korea all look very stabilized during this time when all the democracies around the world just seem to be failing in some capacity or some form? We are going to delve right into this video and kind of understand and kind of break the story down in a way that all of us can understand, because in a way, for us to understand what's going on here at home in the United States, we need to be able to take a look from a more of a broader perspective and look at this from an international perspective, from an international lens, and kind of see if we can gauge any sort of possible trend that we maybe here at home we are overlooking. Um, this video is being recorded on December 19th at 12:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is when this video is being recorded at this time. Um, we are going to discuss a more international. I think in the next video, I don't know exactly what video I'm doing, but I do think I am going to be covering the bird flu. So I think I will be covering that. Then I'm be covering something else regarding Donald Trump. But speaking of Donald Trump, a lot of you guys have started and have been worried about the possibility of a U.S. recount in the election, particularly not a recount, I mean a redo election. You were like, oh, what if he cheats again? Well, I got a hint that possibly it could be a setup. It could be a setup because maybe there isn't definitive proof or they don't have 100% of proof yet. And they have some sort of understanding of the coding mechanism, the coding machines, and how they work and operate. And that they need to really see it. So maybe they might be inputting a Trojan horse to try to bring forth that possible malware that is deeply hidden within the machine network and machine's coding system, that if they can do a redo election, it might be able to come to the forefront. It might be drawn out because it's going to be active, which means it can be working, which is more likely and easier to find than someone that is dormant and is not being currently used in coding. So it might go undetected until it can only be detected and may only come live when it's actually being activated or there's a moment where it needs to be activated. So they might be possibly doing a redo election as what's it called, a way to gauge whether or not the previous one was, quote, cheated. So that is might be what they might be doing. We're going to discuss that in another video, possibly not in this video because I don't think it's going to be relevant to the topic. But if it does show up in this video, I will tell you. But we're going to dive right into this. Will you let me know in the comment section below what you think of today's video, what you have been getting for all leaders around the world, the country, and stuff like that. We are also going to be talking about Russia and past readings that I got on Russia and China and other readings as well. So keep that in mind. If you have not already, please like this video. Don't forget to engage with the content. The more you engage with the content, the more you will see not only my videos, but other tarot card videos as well, including astrologers. So just engage with the content, whether that means you like and subscribe and hit the bell icon, or even commenting. You can go as far as well if you want to be notified when I do upload next. You can go and follow my Blue Sky account in the comment section and in the description, along with my Facebook group, and I will personally notify you when I do upload the next video. Plus, you also have a direct line to reach me more closely, and you can be able to ask questions that maybe otherwise you might not be able to get answered here on YouTube. So, we are going to begin. I do want to say thank you for all of you guys who have been participating and has been engaging with the content. I appreciate all of you, and I love you, and I see you. So I don't want to make this too long, so we're just going to jump right into this, and we'll see where we go. So if you guys are probably wondering right now why I'm in the bathroom, like I said before, it is midnight. I work 2 jobs. I don't have time to just sit in my studio and try to get my dog to calm down just so I can do this video. It just makes it a lot easier for me if I just do it in the bathroom. Not my ideal location right now, but we all have to make do from where we are. So that's where we are doing this video. So let's see. Where do we start first? Okay, they're telling me there's something related to the bird flu here, and it has to be on a global scale. Okay, so that could be a reason why they told me to bring out this deck again, which is the Phoenician mass one. Okay, so they're telling me to bring out this deck here, which is the Phoenician mass, right? And so this is giving me the vibe of bubonic plague. That's why telling me that for some reason here, before we delve into the more of the specifics of the country and why they're going through turmoil, it's telling us here on a global phase, bird flu or some sort of disease is going to take center stage here. So Spears, okay, that was quick. Okay, so Spears Angels, tell me, why is it that you're telling me the first thing we need to talk about before we do anything regarding the question here? Why are you telling me to focus on the bird flu or even like any sort of disease globally? What is affecting the world globally disease-wise? Because clearly that's an important centerpiece here. Why? Why do you tell me this? What's so important that you needed me to intervene? So tell me just to read the two cards, or tell me don't pick any other card to read the two cards. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So the first card is, again, this card is a little bit rated R, but I think a lot of you guys are adults, but if you do have children, I will let you know when I do show you the card. Well, I just pop it. This one's kind of small, so you guys won't see it. But this person is a little bit naked, but you won't see anything. Okay. Alright, so she is getting changed and this guy is washing her from the back. This is the Six of Pentacles. He's obviously taking a peek. He's looking when he's not supposed to, right? He's taking a look behind and just trying to see what he can grasp in a little bit of information that he can get. That is what is in this card here. Now, what is this card here? It's the reverse. It's the reverse Venice, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of swords reverse. This normally means in the right way, going from troubled water into smoother, calmer waters, but it's reverse. Which tells me that it's trouble ahead. Which makes sense because you have this male who is washing this female. Now remember how we talked about how, the patriarchy and the femininity. The feminine is about to start taking hold in center stage in the United States. Aquarius energy, but also not only in the United States, but also globally on a global scale. But how what's it called, feminine, and the end of the patriarchy is starting to take center hold. So I think what this disease that is referring to might not be methodically like illness. It might be talking about the disease of the mental. Now, here's why this is important, because it's talking about here a male figure watching a female getting changed. Now, what does this mean? Well, for me, this means that this individual, this male figure, is watching the feminine dress for the first time. She's dressing upwards, right? She's dressing up, while the male is just watching. This is the patriarchy. He is well dressed because he has been in this position for decades, for centuries, for millennium. But the women, the feminine energy, had never really been in control for a long, long time. But that's about to change. And what does feminine energy means when it comes to regarding Aquarius? It means we, the people. The people take their power back. So what does this also mean? Governments are looking at how the people are dressing up and getting ready to rule. Because what does this mean? So we have this male here who's well dressed, right? But this woman is changing and she's getting ready to dress and put her clothes on. That means that we are in that mist or phase where we're starting to see changes for the people, right? That's why that woman is not fully clothed yet, and that is because, in order for you to be able to lead, you need to be fully clothed, right? In this aspect, she is almost there, which means that the patriarchy is close to washing the feminine. What they're trying to do is they are trying to out certain people to install other people in to protect the patriarchy. Because those people who were in or in office at the moment are not a threat to the patriarchy, but they are not stronger to protect it. They're not as strong or not as determined to protect the patriarchy. If any sort of opposition was to uphold or to come about, they will fall to the knees in the face of Aquarius energy. What this is, there's an attempt of resistance by the patriarchy, or those who represent the high masculine, toxic masculinity here in this aspect, is saying that they are looking to make sure that the people do not become clothed. They want to make sure that you always remain naked or undressed. And what happened when you are naked? You are vulnerable, right? But when you put the clothes on, you feel a sense of power, a sense of self-respect, a sense of understanding who you are, and your confidence will be immensely boosted. That is what they are afraid of. That is why that guy is washing the female. Now, what's really interesting as well is in this card here, it talks about heading into trouble. Now, why is this very important? The disease is the toxic masculinity. The disease is the resistance of the patriarchy. Them trying to topple certain people and reaching to power in an attempt to have a last-ditch effort to solidify their control of the patriarchy. That's the trouble. May I pick more cards? No. Okay. Did I answer everything? Did I give the proper interpretation here? Now, can I turn the deck over since it's not technically taking a card, but it's just interpreting what is on the bottom of the deck? Okay? That's how I can. Okay, so I am clairaudient. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Okay, okay, this person is obviously, well, she's naked. I don't know why I'm being taboo about this. I mean, honestly, like all of you guys, you know, you have seen the Rider-Waite Tarot. It's nothing new. There is some nakedness in there. But this woman here, you can kind of see she has a corset on, and she is changing, right? She's almost finished. Now, why is this so important here? Well, why is this so important? Well, if you look here, this woman is, her dress is to her knees, right? It's to her knees. But when you look at this person, it's almost to her breast. It's almost to her breast. So in the future sense here, that we are almost in a sense of almost completeness. It's probably going to take about a full and a half, I would probably say a year and a half before we start to see the full-on Aquarius energy, the full-on feminine energy starts to take hold, and it will start to kick into full gear. We are just in the very beginning stages of where the patriarchy is attempting to protect its own rights, or attempting to make sure that they remain in power, which is why we are in this point in time. But after a certain period of time, you're going to enter a state of trouble. Now, when I say a state of trouble, I don't necessarily mean that you should be alarmed about it. It's more so the patriarchy become troubled. They become troubled. But then we have here is followed by the woman who's almost done dressed, which is the Nine of Wands. And here you have some man, again, a male washing her change. Look, there's another male washing. Wherever women go to change, a male is always washing. The same way that I always say, wherever a black man walks, a white supremacist follows. And that is no different here. Remember, Barack Obama became president. What's the next one that came right after? A white supremacist. Remember what I say here. Wherever there's a woman who follows, there will be a male who comes after. So, if just say, for example, we were to have a President Harris, or even another woman as President of the United States at some point in time, a male, a sexist, so to speak, will take over after that person. Again, the same trend will follow. Wherever a woman walks, a man follows. Wherever a black man walks or a black person walks, a white supremacist follows. Same concept, same idea. Expect the good, to see the good first, to see the bad second, right? So I don't want you to think that, oh, Harris won, we're done, we're woohoo. It means it's temporary. It means that is in the moment you are to expect you to see what is the best that America can offer from that individual. And then you're going to see the worst of what America could not give you because of the person who came before, right? It's a message, it's a learning thing. That goes for all countries as well. All countries as well. So I want you to understand that. And I want you to be able to see that. I want you to be able to understand that in more in the terms of the complexities in which the world that we live in. It's referring to the fact that the patriarchy and the fall of these people are more so to protect its own system of governance over the people. It's an attempt a last-ditch effort to control the people is to make sure that they stay out of power and that the elite stay in power. That is the patriarchy in a nutshell. That is what I'm seeing in the cards. The cards say that. So if you're wondering why many countries are starting to experience what they are experiencing, that is why. Now, okay, now, I guess that's a disease that is referring to. It might not be the bird flu. Now that we realize that the disease is wherever you walk, somebody's always watching you. As the people start to gain power, the government, the elite is always watching, making sure that that is not something that can happen. No figure, we have drones now, right? All of a sudden we got drones. It's a little weird if you ask me. Okay, so I did do a drone video, so if you had not already, go check that video out. So Spirits and Angels tell me, why are countries like Canada facing trouble? What is going on in Canada? Give me 3 cards for Canada. We only need 3 cards, I said. Just 3 cards. Ooh, okay, there's a challenge card that came out. What are 3 cards that is facing Canada right now with the leadership and everything going on in Canada? They're asking Justin Trudeau to resign. I did do a video on Justin Trudeau at some point in the past. I could put that in the link in the description below if you like. Ooh. Boy. Yeah, he's done. He's done. We have the challenge. And we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of wands here. And it is a card that is telling me here that a lot of things are raining down on him. Which is what, excuse me, I flipped it. Raining down on him. Which is telling me that there is going to be a lot of things that he's getting pinned for. And I feel like he pissed off so many people. Now, I'm not Canadian here. I'm taking from a bipartisan stance here, or like a non-partisan, like a neutral stance is probably the proper term here. And it feels like to me, Justin Trudeau and Canada is facing some sort of turmoil because of things that he did that pissed off certain demographics and certain groups that he needs to win an election by, or his party is losing a lot of support. He's very unpopular. I don't think that is a surprise. I personally don't know his approval rating. I don't follow him. I don't even know anything about him except he's good looking. That's all I know. I think Canadian. That's all I know. But what I can say is that he's a weak leader. Oh God! I can first thing I can see him. He may be good looking, but good looks isn't enough to get you far in politics. You actually have to do policy. And boy, oh boy, does this man not know how to do policy. He's like a Walmart version of Gavin Newsom, if you ask me. Now we do have here. We have the King of Cups, and the King of Cups here is referring to what to call it. And as when he first came into power, Canada was kind of like stable. It was like a stable region among the midst of chaos. Now, this is very funny because it's telling me here that Canada was the stable sister brother of the United States. It was that more normal brother. Whereas the United States seemed to everybody else in the world or the global stage as like the Florida of the world, right? Everybody knows about what goes in Florida, stays in Florida, right? Because everybody in Florida is crazy. Like people dancing with alligators, people making out with alligators, you name it. Again, if you are from Florida, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus here, but that's just a meme that people do, so I'm relating it to that, but so don't take any offense to it. But if you do have, and you do live in Florida, and you do have some experiences, go down below and drop some of your experiences that you experienced in Florida. I like the weird one too, because I like those. Those are fun. But anyway, besides the point, we have the King Cups here. It's telling me here that Canada at some point had a name recognition or an honorary system that made it look as if it was among one of the best. For some reason, I feel like that is not the case anymore. I feel like Canada has dropped levels, maybe in education, maybe in mathematics, maybe in job stability, employment, whatever it is, that Canada definitely had dropped in some form that had significant impact across the country from when he took over. Now it's saying here that he does not have a victory forward. This man does not. As long as he is Prime Minister of Canada, the country will continue to decline. And as it declines, it will enter more of a chaotic years ahead. right? So the best thing that Canada can do is actually get rid of Justin Trudeau, whether that means it's um, by an election or by people removing him from power. My recommendation, I think personally, the people are probably better in this aspect because the people know better. But then again, in this age of Aquarius, misinformation is going to be very rampant and it might just pick up steam in Canada. And why is that very important? Well, because one of the people who are running currently in Canada is a Trump-like figure who is endorsed by Trump or is very well liked by Trump and might be willing to sell Canada to the United States and become the 51st US state, which is by far never going to happen, but um, that is still a scary thought that Canada could easily be brought out by putting the right people in position of power in a country that was once held by high regard. So it's telling me here that Justin Trudeau, the best thing he could do right now is actually resign and put somebody in position of power who is good for the Canadian people, not the people who are bad, who have the attempt or the ability or the want or need to bring far-right ideology to Canada. It's talking about more so working for the Canadian people. And if he does that, he's able to sidestep the influence that Trump may put on Canada. And then he's able to save Canada by reversing and stepping down. I actually think that Canada will actually thrive better if Justin Trudeau were to do this peacefully and was to be able to appoint somebody. I don't know if that is exactly how Canada works. I really don't know the governance system or the line of succession. I don't know if that's even a plausibility or a possibility, but if it is, that might be a good option. Now, that is not a mere personal opinion, that is a mere psychic evaluation. We do have the lovers here. He represents the disconnect of the male and female energy here. He represents the patriarchy, right? He is the full-on patriarchy. He is actually snobby. He reminds me of some dude who is behind the scenes. You always like see those guys who are on like the Hallmark movie, and there always got to be one of them who's just outright nasty and disrespectful to one of the females in the lead. And like he was originally an ex-fiance or an ex-boyfriend or whatever he is, and he's always just there trying to intimidate her new man. Well, that's kind of like what he feels like. He is that guy who just can't let go, but he's also one of those people who are just outright toxic. And he's toxic for the Canadian people, but he's also toxic to the harmony and the harmonious balance. And he represents and wholeheartedly the toxic masculinity, the patriarchal system. We do have here the Page of Cups. Um, in terms of Canada and Canada's future with Justin Trudeau, it's not going to be a good one. And I do think he's either gonna resign, and the opportunity is gonna force him to resign, even when he does not want to, or he will be forcibly removed by some form or matter. So it's gonna be one or the other. He can choose to go the easy way, like Richard Nixon did, and just resign easily and allow the country to heal and just move on, or he is going to be in a position of power where what they call people are going to be trying to take him out in some capacity. And what's the top of the card here? We have the Ace of Cups. He has no support. I'm actually hearing, ironically, in my ear, a lack of confidence vote. I don't know if that is a thing in Canada, but I'm hearing that very strongly. And there is a death coming for his political career. I think his career is over. I think in the next couple coming days or weeks, I would expect a resignation or of a forced removal or even a lack of confidence vote on his behalf, whether that is for him or against him, whether that is, it's coming. We have the Ace of Pentacles. If he chooses and he does hang on, even with the lack of confidence vote, or he does not resign, he will not be elected by the people. People of Canada will not choose him again. I said this before that he will have to resign at some point, and I do think he is going to get divorced from his wife if he had not already. Um, I think he's still married to her. I believe. I don't really know. I really don't know. So if you can further clarify or tell me in the comment section, that would be great. Great. I would love that. Okay, so now the next country I'm seeing right now in my third eye right now is Germany. So we are going to head to Germany and see what is going on in Germany. But I think I kind of see the theme here. The overall beginning portion of the video when we talked about the disease that's plaguing the world right now. It seems to be a common theme, at least in Canada. We'll see if it's a common theme in Germany as well. It looks like that is the case. And then we'll finish off the reading after we do all the countries. We are going to finish off the reading trying to ask the guys, why is it that countries like Russia and China are not experiencing the same type of downfall that we are experiencing in democracy in terms of leadership? Why are those countries not being worked on? Why? I'm sure there's something there. There's probably a reason why, but I at least would like to explore that question. So, Spirits Angels, tell me about Germany. What is going on with Germany's leadership with the lack of no confidence vote? Which means that there is no parliament, I believe, or anything like that, and that means that there's going to be a snap election. And there's a possibility that Germany can become far right. And there is a neo-Nazi group in Germany, I believe. So Spirit Angels, tell me about Germany. What is going on in Germany in terms of its leadership? You know, I feel like ever since Angela Merkel left, a lot of things have been going on in Germany. Not good things, of course. What is going on in Germany right now with its leadership? What's going on in the leadership position for Germany? Thank you. I love when they give me the cards. My favorite. Can I pick the card, or are you going to give me a card? Want to give me a card? Okay. Okay, give me the final card here. You just told me you're going to pick me a card. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so we have here, oh my god, what is it with these Six of Pentacles? We have the Six of Pentacles. Again, guys, it's the same card that came up early in the reading, the Six of Pentacles. It's a challenge, it's bribery. There's bribery and justice here going on in Germany. I don't know much about what's going on in Germany right now, but it feels like there's heavy influence. There is some sort of money that's being played here. I don't know if they got like something going on, like where in the United States we have United Citizens, and how corporations and big donations can influence candidates' decisions, or people in positions of power decisions, or even like lobbyists or whatever. I don't know what the system is and how it functions and the laws that are in that country in particular, but it does feel like there is interference in some capacity with its leadership. Because there's fairness here, but then there's also bribery. I feel like half the country is like being bribed and half the country is not. And when I say that, I don't mean that like in a way that's like it's not possible. It's very possible. It's talking about more so the parliament. So the people who represent the region are more likely to be corrupted in some capacity. But we have the Two of Pentacles here, which is challenges, right? In the past, you know, there was the plausibility of this occurring and not occurring at some point. They could have went the easy path. They could have took the hard path. They ended up taking the more difficult part. We do have here, is represented by the Three of Wands here, which tells me there is an election. This is my election night card here. I think there's going to be foreign interference. Oh, you know what that could be? This could be referring to that Germany could actually have foreign interference in their own election. With the snap election coming in, it might give an opening for a foreign entity or a foreign government to interfere in the election. Now, this is also telling me here that there's also an off chance here that the election, and the reason why there was a lack of no confidence vote, that they may have found evidence behind the scene that might have indicated that that is exactly what had already occurred, and that because of the lack of no confidence was because the inability to address the issue at stake. That could be what that could also be referring to, but it could also be, not only is that referring to that possibly, it might also be referring to the fact that, you know, instead of telling the country the election was manipulated or manufactured in some capacity, let's just say that the leader had a lack of no confidence by his own party or parliament or whatever system of government they have, and because of that we can be able to stave our electoral system, but at the same time, we are removing that person from power because we know that they did not win fairly. So that could be what that could be indicating as well. It could be indicating those two very drastic outcomes. It could be indicating that, foreign interference is looking to interfere in Germany and its own leadership and its own direction and future going into the next election. It could actually mean both. It could mean both simultaneously. It could mean that, the foreign leader was the leadership in Germany was found guilty or was found proven, but they didn't want to alarm the populace that, our system of government and how we operate our voting system does not actually work, and it actually can be manipulated in some form or some capacity. Instead of telling that and addressing the issue to the people, let's slap a band-aid on this and let's just tell them we have no confidence vote for the leader that they supposedly elected or put into power. So there are two outcomes here. It could also be indicating both. Right? Then the card that is following Germany is death. There's an ending coming to Germany. There's an ending. There's an ending to Germany, and there's also a rebirth, a change, a shift. And it goes toward, I feel like I have a feeling that Germany might shift to whatever they call the religious right. I don't know if there is a group called the religious right. I would be shocked if that even is a group. But I'm seeing religion here. I'm almost like a Monroe Doctrine. Like they have like this ambition now in this group or this ideology to create what we call the manifest destiny. The last time the country had a manifest destiny was, well, in Germany was, the mushroom man, not the mushroom man, the mustache man, right? And then we have here, what does that mean? The lack of no power. Holding on. I think the party in power is definitely going to lose control in the snap election. They are not going to get back in power. So if that is what people are telling you, I don't see it. We do have here, we have the no sun card. The sun card reverse here, that's an automatic no. I don't think the person in power, the party in power at the moment is going to get back into office. I think that party's done, at least for now in the election. I do feel like, there's an off chance and offshoot that Germany could move to the religious right or move religious in some capacity because the Pope is here and present. I don't know if that's, metaphorical or physically. It could also be referring to a cult-like following. It could also be referring to a cult. So possibly it might not be referring to maybe religion. It might be referring that there might be a cult-like party that might rise out of Germany, similar to what you expect in the United States with Trump. And then we have the the Five of Swords. So there is going to be a fight and a battle. It's going to be close. I think if I'm correct, Germany does round the voting. If I'm correct, like ranked choice voting basically. And I think that there's going to be at least 3 rounds. The third round determines the winner. But there's going to be a clear front runner in every round. There's going to be one party, but I'm seeing the color green in particular. So green is going to be present there, but it's also black. So black or green will be the likeliest one to come out as like number 1 and number 2 consistently throughout the country, and they're going to be battling it out. I don't know how the country electorally works, or if they run a popular vote system. I have no idea, but that's Germany. All right, so Spirit Angels, tell me about. We already read on South Korea, so we're not going to read on South Korea there, but we are going to read on Australia. I think there's something going to be happening in Australia if it hasn't happened already. So we're going to read on Australia. What is going on in Australia? About Australian leadership. What is going on in Australian leadership right now? What is going on in Australian leadership? Ooh, okay, we love that. You see how they place the cards for me? Oh, we gotta love them. Gotta love my guys. I love you guys. Thank you. Oh, perfect. You guys are beautiful. Okay. So they gave me these 3 cards in this position, almost like a wave. Right, but then this is the main challenge. So the first card that came out was the strength card. So what is going on in the leadership of Australia? There's some sort of strength. I feel like there is some sort of control of Australia of some type. I wonder if the UK still has Australia as part of the Commonwealth. Because I'm seeing a queen here come in her colony, which is represented by the lion. Actually, I want to look that up. Let me see if Australia is still part of the Commonwealth. Because that comes in pretty strongly. Is Australia a part of the Commonwealth? So, yes, it is still part of the British Commonwealth. Okay, so that is still a thing. So it looks like to me that is coming through here, which is why it's being shown as a strength card. It almost feels like in some capacity, Australia in some form, in some way, is being calmed. But it's not being calmed in a way that you want it. It's not the way that the Australian people want. They want almost not like a separation from the Queen or from the King or from the motherland. But it almost feels like in a way they just want to have somebody they want. It's almost like they desire something different, but something that feels familiar, something that feels similar. I don't know if that makes sense. I know some of my Australian friends follow me, so that's what it feels for you. Let me know. Ooh, okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of stories here. Now I kept getting that because of like the motherland calming down her baby, which is Australia. What I'm receiving this has to do with the oceanic water. There's something going on with water here revolving around land. There's some maybe possibly disagreement with maybe the border, the oceanic borders. Possibly there's a fight or a battle for control or influence in the Indian East China Sea and the Pacific region. There might be some sort of battle, but whatever it is, there is a battle going on in the oceanic region, particularly revolving around Australia and its ability to broaden its influence. It feels like there is an attempt to either influence Australia's leadership or the leadership in Australia is attempting to influence other regions nearby. So it feels like there is a mix of both here. Now, what is being the wave? What is the hello here? Well, let's take a look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have the 8 of Cups upright. We have, oh, okay. I want to know who the Prime Minister or the President is of Australia. I wonder if there's a woman in there. Australia Prime Minister. I assume they have a Prime Minister because they're part of England. So, okay, he's part of the Labour Party, and his name is Anthony Albanese. Okay, and okay, so yeah, okay, so he is Anthony Albanese. And then I wonder what the next election is for Australia election. Okay, so it's actually next year. That's why it's expected by May 2025, which feels pretty recent. I don't know if somebody's running yet or they announced that they're running, but there is a female here. There is a battle of the female. So I feel like a woman or a male with feminine energy is gonna rise in Australia. And the person who is running, I don't know what the term limit is or the rules are regarding the leadership and how that works in Australia. But it feels like in some way, if the person who is currently in power, Anthony Albanese, decides to make another run for re-election or however that is worded, if he decides to run again, he's going to lose control of the capital, is what I'm going to use. The capital, whatever the state government building is, they are going to lose the capital. They are not going to be in office. And a woman goes in. This is the woman that goes in. But there's a caveat here. She represents the conservative wing. I want to know if Albert Albanese is conservative. Let me see. I don't know how the system works, but let me see if there's an Australian federal election. Let me see if there's any parties on the ballot. Oh, look. So there is actually no female running. So at least there's got to be one of these males here that is more feminine in terms of energy wise. Oh, you know what? It looks like Adam Bandit looked like for the Green Party. Looks like he is more the feminine one. You can kind of see that in his smile. Yeah, you can kind of see that in his smile here. That's what it feels like. There are other parties as well. There's the coalition, the Labour Party, the Greens, One Nation, United Australia, Kitten Australians, Central Alliance, and Independents. So it does feel like in some capacity or some way there is going to be a form or a type of government that's going to be instituted, and that Anthony Albanese is going to be gone, but a feminine energy is going to take his place. It's going to be kind of like a little bit more conservative in some capacity in terms of his approach. So it could be Adam Bandit, if I'm correct. He would be more the feminine energy, but it's very possible it could be like the liberal or national coalition, because if you look at him, I can kind of see more of that, Australia trying to challenge overseas and try to broaden its influence beyond its borders, land borders, and it's trying to influence other countries as well. So I could definitely see Peter Dutton or Dutton, whatever his name is. He kind of gives that like oceanic vibe, the guy that who would challenge um, the sovereign regions of other nations. So I do feel like that is going to be a coming plausibility for Australia. And it looks like this one's going to be predetermined by whatever the universe is wanting for Australia. I don't see so much as like, yeah, it feels like to me that it's going to be a attempt of foreign interference, but I feel like the divine is going to intervene in this aspect, and Australia is going to rightfully pick their leader. So I don't think that it's going to be too much of a worrisome here, but it does feel like Australia is going to be heading toward a more of a nationalistic, more imperialistic approach in terms of its ideology and its form of government and how it operates. So definitely going forward, I do feel like Australia is heading more imperialistic, but a little bit more with the feminine energy taking center stage. So it's more of like a leftist effort, but not quite. So it doesn't really fit. I feel like Australia kind of goes against the general narrative that we talked about earlier in today's video with the understanding of why the disease is the way it is. And I don't think Australia is susceptible to the disease as much as other nations are. So I think Australia is going to be okay. We are going to go back into France. So we are going to head back into Europe and go to France. I'm also seeing New Zealand, so we'll probably go to New Zealand after. There's something going on in New Zealand. Okay, so Spirit Angel, tell me about France. What is going on in France right now with Macron and the Prime Minister with the lack of no confidence vote? I don't know if there was an impeachment. I have no idea, but there was something here. What is going on in France? What is going on in France, Spirit Angels? Ooh, okay. This card keeps coming up for every single country. So there is definitely interference. There's interference, definitely. Being challenged by the Five of Pentacles. So the Pentacles, the next card, they always come up with what's it called? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of Swords here. They keep coming up. Oh my God. I misinterpreted the reading before. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I misinterpreted the first card in the reading. Because you remember how I talked about that Phoenician boat? It was this card all along. That was that card. Oh my God. Oh my God, is all I had to say to that. Okay, that was way too many, but okay. Okay, so let's see. So this is what we're talking about now. We're talking about France. What the hell is going on in France? Well, we have here, we have the interference here with the Seven of Swords here. That is the first card that came into reading. That is followed and crossed by the Five of Pentacles, which means that there is some sort of challenge, but it's a challenge to the country's finances. Not so much the people, but the country's finances. There's something going on with the finance in France. Something with money. Maybe money went missing. Because we have here, oh, that's what it is. Because we have money went missing here with the money card. And directly where the guy is looking, it's the same direction where the money is being leveled. So he is looking in the same direction as where the money. Now I'm going to show you on the screen the same position that I see it, just so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay. You see it now? Okay. Now, when we talk about all this, we have this guy, the Knight of Swords, reversed. This means slowness and swiftness. This person is taking a sweet little time taking the money, which means that this person has been known to come back and take a little bit more, take a little bit more, take a little bit more. And they notice it a little bit. They see the decrease, but it wasn't substantial because it's in low amount, it almost looks like it went unnoticed. Like they noticed there was a decrease, but they didn't know that there was a decrease, if that makes any sense. It's almost like, somebody goes in, you come home with leftovers, and you have French fries, right? You had 200 French fries left, right? But somebody comes in and they eat 10, but then you look at it, you're like, okay, it looks normal, look at decent size. Then there's 10 more missing. Okay, it still looks normal amount, then 10 more. Then as the portion gets smaller and smaller, if you are ignorant and you think, oh, well, it looks like if you only remember the day before, you're going to be like, oh, it doesn't look as different. But then when it starts to get depleted and starts to get smaller and smaller, where, okay, you definitely don't have 10 fries, you definitely have more than that, that's when it starts to become obvious, right? That is what it's saying. There's some sort of obvious thing going on here. But the ignorance, the oblivion of it took forever. Literally took forever. We have here darkness. We have here the Hermit reversed, which is telling me that France is going to enter a period of darkness. It is. I think this country is going to go broke or some form of bankruptcy. I don't know if that is something that's going to be. I don't know. I don't know anything about the country in terms of its economy or finances, but that's just what I'm seeing. I've seen something with dark, like the lights go out. I don't know if that's a metaphor, maybe possibly. Oh. I don't know if this is a thing in France, but it's possible the country may go through a government shutdown. They may have disagreement. There's something going on with the government that may lead to a shutdown or a disconnect. Darkness between bipartisanship. There might be even an attempt to, because this card also shows up again in a lot of the reading. This is the capital, right? It could also mean that the darkness in the capital, maybe potentially there's a dark leader because of the influence here, and it has to do with them stealing money. Right? It could be referring to that. It could be talking about the darkness, that the lights go out, the country can't afford anything, can't even afford basic electricity. But I did say earlier before that the people look fine, they look normal, they're able to afford things. Which tells me the country might not be going through materialistic hardship. It might be more of a different form of hardship is probably what I would say. They can afford food, they can still afford all the basic necessities. They can, and they will. It feels like something a little bit different. It feels like France is undergoing a leadership change in some form. That's what that might be. It might be a change in leadership and how everything is fully operating and fully working. I think France is going to go through some big changes, even if its own ideology and its own government. There is a lack of achievements here, lack of ability to get things done. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of swords reverse. It feels like the person who didn't get anything done didn't have any restrictions, but yet they still didn't get anything done, despite the fact them having all the power they need. But they're not going to be able to hold on. I think Macron and his party is going to end up losing. I don't think, even if they try to run again, I think it's over. It's over for him. He's out of power. Yep. The King of Swords reverse. When it's reversed, it means the person is out of power or loses or is defeated or removed in some form. He might resign, he might be forced out, whatever it is, but he's gone. That's it, it's over. France is having a new leader. Yep, France is gonna have a new leader. Could we have this person here, this new person, getting anointed by the higher French official? I'm gonna say France is gonna have a new leader. Yeah, they're gonna have a new leader. I think there might be another election. This time it's not gonna be a woman. Well, hold on. But I was supposed to do a video on Marine Le Pen, and she is a woman. Hold on. Because she represents the masculine wing of the party. She represents the masculine. So maybe when I say it might not be a woman, it might not be a feminine woman, but doesn't mean that it won't be a masculine one. Remember, feminine does not make you gay, okay? Does not make you any less of a man. It just means that is how your energy comes off as more caring, more loving, more empathetic. You know, that's all that it means. So just don't take that the wrong way. If you are a woman and you feel like you are more masculine, that's not a negative trait either. It just might mean that you represent certain qualities like being assertive, overly confident, you know, very strong, stuff like those things. Those are great qualities to have. So there's nothing wrong with any of these traits, okay? So don't take anything wrong or don't think that, oh, men can't be this way or women can't be that way. Anybody can be whatever they want, okay? So Spirit Angel, tell me about Marie Le Pen in France. What's going on with Marie Le Pen? Is she going to become the next leader of France? At some point, I did say that, you know, there was going to be, but it wasn't her, because it was going to be a male. I'll put a link to my friend's videos in the past. I did say Macron was going to lose the election, but he didn't. He won. But maybe, you know, if you look at the card, it might be very possible that it might just be referring to now in the pretext because, you know, Howard does not know how to tell time. It really does not. I'm starting to see a lot of my tarot card reading back then that I thought was going to happen sooner when I did the video ended up happening around now. So, right, so Spirit Angel, tell me about Marie Le Pen. Is she going to become the next prime minister or even, I don't know, president of the United States? President of France. I don't even know what they have over there. Emperor? I don't know. You see, although I know history, I know American history. I know some world history, but that's it. Okay, there is some foreign interference here. Definitely foreign play. This has to do with the leadership position, which is why it's being represented as the emperor. Oh, it's funny, because I just said the emperor. So the Emperor card is representing the highest position in France. So I think that is the position in which Emmanuel Macron is in right now. Now, we have here is the card that is kind of challenging it. Again, it gives me that woman that's holding, there's a woman figure here, like a statue that they represent as French Revolution. I think it's on the actual constitutional document. There's some women there. This person is tied up. There's something going on with the Constitution or the laws or whatever. This has to do with the justice system. Again, it has to do with some rights. There has to do with some rights here, fairness. And it has to do with the emperor. Okay. We have the Ace of Wands. There's a handing over of leadership. We have foreign powers at play here. So France, with Marie Le Pen, she's going to be looking abroad for help. She's looking for assistance. She already has an assistant in France, but she's looking to make more assistance, get more friends in a position of power that can help her and guide her. That is what Marie Le Pen is doing. Because we have here, this is Marie Le Pen's reading. We have the Emperor card as the challenge to her legacy, whether or not she's going to become the next leader of France. I think she might, because we have here the lack of resistance and no longer being upset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of Swords reversed. She is now going to get what she had been dying to have, which is the leadership role in France. Justice has been served. The Ace of Wands is the handing of power, the handing of control to a new ideology, which is represented by the Justice card. The more the conservative far-right ideology, which is represented by the Judge card here, it tells me here that under the Emperor, which is being put in play here, which is being challenged in France, is going to hand her the right situation to become the next leader of France. So yeah, I do think that Marie Le Pen very well could become the next leader. So that is where France is. France is going to have a masculine woman as the next leader, which is what it appears to be. We have here a full card. They made the wrong choice. That's on France. Alright. Well, the good thing about France, though, people there know how to rebel. They're very well known for protesting. So, that's a good sign. They're willing to protect their own country. So I don't think Marie Le Pen might be able to get as far as maybe Donald Trump would in the United States. So just be aware of that. Just make sure you be very mindful. I think everything's going to be okay in France. I don't see too much trouble. There might be a challenge to the Constitution in France. I don't know what will be exactly be challenged, but there is a challenge to some sort of rights in France. Okay, so we covered Australia, we covered Germany, we covered France. Let's go to New Zealand. What is going on in New Zealand leadership right now, Spirits and Angel? Okay. So we have again, there's something going on with the foreign play here with the Four Cups challenging the foreign leadership role or foreign policy. I'm seeing, based on what I got before on Australia, that New Zealand is looking at Australia and saying, whoa. You're too close to my border. There's something going on. Maybe there's some sort of disconnect between the oceanic alliances in regard to New Zealand and Australia. There might be some sort of tension there. It might be accidental, but there's going to be tension. We do have the Fool card with a male here, the conservative. On election day, he's going to ride into victory. Let me see. What is going on in New Zealand? I don't even know if New Zealand's having an election. New Zealand election. Let's see if they even have one already. Oh, okay, yep. Apparently there is an election for New Zealand. That is in 2025 of October 11th of next year. They have the National Party, the Labour Party, and the Greens. Interesting. So it's very similar setup to the Australian. They do also have the ACT, the NZ first, and whatever the other one is, which is like some weird name. But we do have this party as well. So that is very interesting. Could we have here more of a conservative style government that might possibly take place? And it looks like the color yellow. So whatever ACT is, or whatever that represents. Oh, okay, here it is. It says here it's known as the right-wing or classical liberal right-wing libertarian conservative political party in New Zealand. It is currently led by David Seymour and a coalition with the National New Zealand First Party as part of the sixth national government. So I think that New Zealand actually is going to move to the right of the country and where it has been previously. So I definitely do see that. It says it in the cards here. We have the Fool, which I think, again, like I said, the people are going to make the wrong choice. They are going to go with the right side this time. I think that they are going to be influenced by media. There's going to be some sort of foreign interplay here. There's some sort of interference. They are going to go with a leader that is more conservative. Remember how I said conservative, I didn't say extreme right wing. I said conservative. That is why it's being represented by the King of Wands here. This has always been my classical conservative card. It's being challenged by the Judgment, which is the election card. The reverse of the people did not choose. I feel like in some way there's something going on in New Zealand where the people there don't choose the leader. He just goes in. He just goes in. Because we have here, we have the Knight of Wands. He goes into power and he becomes the leader, which is being shown by the Sword card. So I do think in New Zealand moved right, which is probably why my guys were like, oh, no, maybe you should look at New Zealand. Because it was not on the news. There was nothing going on in the news for New Zealand, but somehow it was telling me, look at New Zealand, you might never know. So at least that's what I'm getting here. I don't see any other countries that we need to focus on. I think we covered it all. I think in the next video, we are going to cover, we'll probably release 2 separate videos in one day. We're going to talk about why is it that, other countries like Russia and China don't see anything like this. Why is it that they are getting away with it? So we are going to discuss that in a moment. But you will see that in the next video because I'm going to split this video in half. Alright guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to engage with the content. Don't forget to share this with other people. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Until then, I love you and have a great night. Peace out.